And welcome back to Life Unrehearsed. Matt Del Vecchio here. Thanks for joining me. On a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Shout out. I'd like to give a shout out to the Côte St. Luc Men's Club. I'm going to be giving a seminar there this Thursday. That's over at the Community Center in Park Haven this Thursday morning on the topic of aging in place, downsizing, and transition trends. Looking forward to presenting to the wonderful gentleman at the Côte St. Luc Men's Club this Thursday morning. All right. Now, settling an estate can be complicated, confusing, and stressful. And let's face it, it's not something that happens every day, and most people go into estate settlement without much knowledge on the procedures and methods. And many times the challenges of settling an estate can be made much easier with proper estate planning well before the death of a loved one. Well, here to tell us more is the co-founder and CEO of Clear Estate, Davide Pisanu. Davide, welcome to Life Unrehearsed.
Great to be on the show, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you for joining me, Davide. So important. And what would you say are some of the biggest challenges with settling an estate?
I think the first one is you need to know what you settle. And one of the main responsibilities of a liquidateur in Quebec or an executor, so the person responsible for settling the estate, is actually knowing what is in the estate. And most people don't have a comprehensive list of their assets and their liabilities. And that's the main duty of the executor. The main duty of the liquidator is to actually have the list of assets, list of liabilities, settle all the accounts, and then distribute the money as per the will or the wishes of the deceased, or as per the law if there was no will. So for most people, the biggest challenge is that phase, first couple of weeks, first couple of months, where you figure out, what there is. And then there's the paperwork and the taxes and everything else. But not knowing what there is there and not knowing what you don't know is actually the hardest part of the whole process.
That makes a lot of sense. If and always best to be well prepared in advance. Have those essential conversations with your family, right, Davide? You've seen it, probably the worst side of things. And if you're scrambling, just trying to figure things out and where is everything, those are conversations that could be done in advance. And regarding the estate settlement, Davide, what are some of the most popular tasks that are performed when settling an estate?
I think the first step is, what we call in the business like the treasure hunt. So all assets, all liabilities, and basically that distribution. But before that, try to figure out if there's a will. So try to find the last will in Quebec. The notaries keep a registry. If the will was not notarized, then that may create a bit more of an issue. I mean, you know this is your business. Like you have to clear the house, you have to distribute the assets, and then one of the things that people don't think about is the taxes. As a liquidator, you're responsible not only for the estate taxes, but also for most people at the end of their lives. There's a couple of years of unfiled taxes, and that's a liability hanging over the estate. So those are the kind of like the main pieces out there. I'm obviously oversimplifying. All of this is usually done through a period of grief and emotions going through this. It's not easy to empty a basement. It's not easy to empty a house. It's not easy to go through somebody's personal affairs. But from a legal standpoint, to get that final clearance certificate by the Canada Revenue Agency, you need to settle all debts, and you need to pay those taxes. And I think that's one of the key pieces.
Listening to Life Unrehearsed, Matt Del Vecchio here, and we're talking about estate planning and estate settlement with Davide Pisanu, co-founder and CEO of Clear Estate. Now, Davide, we don't hear of probate too often in Quebec, right? Because things are notarized, whereas the rest of Canada, usually the probate process is involved.
Correct. So, if you have a notarized will in Quebec, that allows you to bypass what is called probate in the rest of Canada, or actually the rest of North America. There is a form of probate in Quebec if there is no notarized will. You still need to go to court and prove that you're the rightful person to actually do the job. I mean, the bank is actually not going to let you have access to the cash or liquidate the assets if you don't prove that you're actually entitled to do what you're supposed to do, or you have, that there was no will, or if there's a will that wasn't notarized, that's truly the last wishes of the deceased. So we have a form of probate in the case of non-notarized wills, but if you have a notarized will, then you can avoid what's called probate, which is essentially validating the authority of the executor / liquidator in Quebec, and the fact that there was that document, the will, is the last true will of the deceased.
All right. Now, Davide, we got about a minute left. You are the co-founder and CEO of Clear Estate. Very, very impressive. We've used it. I've seen it many times. Can you let our listeners know about Clear Estate? What can you do to make the process of estate planning and estate settlement a little smoother and less expensive and less costly?
So on the settlement side, if you have an estate to settle, we can support the estate administration from a simple support all the way to full agency, which means that we'll take on the bulk of the work and do the work a little bit similar to what a trust company would do. On the estate planning side, we have a very robust estate planning platform. Obviously, we're primarily a software company, but we do have experts internally that can guide people through the process. So very robust estate planning, and we do offer the full suite of trust services. So you can appoint Clear Estate as your executor, your trustee, or liquidator in Quebec. And that basically is it's a gift to your family, correct? Like it's a way for you to relieve some of those tasks, some of those administrative tasks on your family members by appointing a professional to actually do the work. And we're a fraction of the cost of what the traditional trust companies charge. So this is where it's a big advantage to people out there and affordable for most families.
Yeah, doing is really impressive, Davide. Congratulations on your success, and continue to grow. As our population ages, this particular topic is becoming more and more important. Davide, how can our listeners find out a little bit more about Clear Estate?
Clearestate.com is where we live. You can book a free consultation, whether that's on the estate planning side or the estate settlement side, and we'll be happy to walk through your situation and figure out whether we can help.
All right, Davide, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Matt. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're most welcome. That's Davide Pisanu, co-founder and CEO of Clear Estate. All right, that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to Life Unrehearsed. And as a reminder, for all your inquiries or assistance with home care, downsizing in the senior living industry, it'd be my pleasure to help. You can find out more if you look up Premier Home Care or Lianas Senior Transition Support. Many thanks to Andrew Malik and Tommy Lane for doing a great job on the board behind the scenes. You could hear me on Life Unrehearsed the last Sunday of every month. Enjoy your week, everyone, and go Habs go.